Welcome guys to this live podcast here on Instagram. I'm gonna talk today about love versus business and why so many people struggle with combining the two or having a hard time and really starting to kill both topics in their lives with each other. And I just really want to make sure that you guys think about a few things, and that's why I want to make this podcast today. And maybe you are an ambitious person, career person, driven, motivated, want to build something for yourself. Maybe it's an empire, a business, whatever, or a great relationship and a family, and they're all valid dreams and goals, and they can all exist at the same time. So a lot of people focus on one thing, a lot of people focus on the other thing at some points in their lives, but I do believe that are topics that should be combined in the best way so we can flourish and flow in the best way we could in both topics. And I feel like a lot of people think they have to decide for either or. Okay, I'm doing my career, I'm focused on this right now, I'm not able to have a real relationship, I'm not ready for something. Or they have a relationship and focus on the relationship and then forget their own needs, forget their own goals and dreams and what they actually want to do for themselves. And it's never easy to navigate that process, but I do believe that with some strategies and tactics we can find a good balance. And I learned a lot in my past 8 years of entrepreneurship and also when it comes to relationships. And so I want to talk with you guys today about that. If you have any questions about that topic, just text me in the comments. I'm highly happy if I can answer some of your questions. And let's just dive right into the topic. First of all, hello everybody who's joining in. Good to see you guys. I'm happy you're here. And let's go. Let's do this. So when I'm looking back on my last months of June, I had a really rough time because of the burning of my house in Ibiza and different other things that happened. And I started a program with my friend Kayla, who is also struggling with some topics right now in her life. And when shit hits the fan, it's never really easy to stay calm and centered and regulate our emotions and all this stuff, especially for women. It's not that easy. And we're always trying to juggle all balls in the air, having everything going and perfect, like family, relationship, our own health, and plus that our business and all these different parts of our life that we think we have to hold all balls in the air constantly. And it's very hard, it's very tough. And I know that because I'm trying to do that as well for 8 years, and on some moments in my life it's more easy, and in some moments in my life it's not that easy. But I do believe there is a way out, and I had a lot of thoughts about that topic in the last months, reflecting on my own relationships, reflecting on my business, and I think there are some things I want to share with you guys, and I hope it will help you as well. So let's look on the business aspect first. If you want to thrive in your career, if you are ambitious, if you have dreams and goals, and you have a partner who is not supporting you, who is not believing in you, who is maybe holding you back, asking you to shrink, asking you to keep calm and focus on your family and the relationship, or even worse, is making your life a hard time, giving you a hard time by having conflict constantly, arguing, fighting, whatever. How do you think you should be successful in your business if you have a partner who is not supportive? How do you want to thrive in your career and in the things that you actually want to achieve for yourself if there's somebody constantly trying to hold you back from it? Because maybe, especially in man and female dynamics, is what I see that a lot. A lot of men have a hard time letting their women be successful or letting their women thrive and doing stuff for their own, because they want to be the masculine leader role. And I do get that. We also have to look at feminine and masculine dynamics for sure. But on the other hand, you should have a partner who's supportive to you and what you want to create for yourself, right? And if you're constantly in a battlefield, ask yourself if that is the right relationship for you. Because I do believe, and I saw it for myself, when I'm in connections and relationships that support my growth, that support my mission, that support what I want to do in my life, I always did so good also in business and in the relationship. It always started to get messy or problematic when there was a friction between the relationship goals and the business goals. So please check that for yourself. Is my relationship or the connections that I'm currently in supporting me for the goals that I have in my life? For example, becoming more free, becoming location independent, traveling the world, building a business, whatever it is, financial freedom. And if you can directly say, no, it's not supporting me at all, why then you're still in this relationship? I'm just asking you the question. Is not life too short to constantly argue and fight and go against your own needs, go against your own wishes and dreams in life? I don't believe it should be like that. So yeah, check that for yourself. For me, it helped me a lot to change a lot of things in my life. I had very good relationships in my past that were very supportive and helping me grow, and vice versa. And I had also relationships that were a complete disaster, brought more chaos into my life than peace, and I really felt like this is like draining, making me crazy. I cannot focus on my work in the meantime because I'm struggling in that relationship. And that's also a point I want to talk with you guys about it. I, by the way, would love to hear your thoughts on this as well in the chat below. So if you have a relationship where you're constantly fighting, where you're constantly having any kind of issues to solve, where is the energy left in your complete aura, in your complete being, to thrive in your business, to think about creativity or building something new or creating a new project or product? There is zero energy left. And I've been there, people. I've done that too many times, and it's cost me a lot of peace, but also a lot of money. So if I look in the graphic of my income, like I have a tool where I list up what I've earned in my several months and years, I can directly see the months where I went through heartbreak, or I went through breakups or problems with my relationships. In these months, these were the months where I earned less money. And not just because my tools and my funnels are not working that good in that moment. No, it's also because I cannot stand behind my business because I'm energetically focused on something else. And the energy that you pour in your business, it also comes out again. So if you have no energy left to pour in your business because you're constantly like thinking about how to solve your relationship, how do you want it to thrive? And maybe check that for yourself. Check your income months and see when have you doing really, really good, and when was a complete disaster for yourself. And people who have a career in a corporate job, they don't see it right away on their paychecks because they're all months the same. But you can look on your own energetic field. You can ask your friends, how are you really doing in that specific time? And when the answer is horrible, and that maybe you do that for a longer period of time, why you keep proceeding with it? I know we tend to hold on to people we love, and I know we also like stay in things longer than we maybe should, and we try things and we try to make it work, and maybe that's also a good thing to not throw like stuff right in the trash, let's say. I'm always a big believer in like also working on things and making work together. But if there's only willingness from one side and not a communication between two people trying to make it work, then it's going to be very, very hard. Like I said, I've also been in relationships where I was the one earning more, where I was the one thriving more in business, where I was the one making a lot of money in comparison to my partner. And also here we have this female masculine dynamic, which could become a problem. So if your partner is constantly jealous on your success, if your partner is constantly trying to compete with you, how do you want to have peace in your relationship then? It's not really working either, right? So before you enter a relationship, please do yourself the favor, and that's what I told myself. this year, the beginning of the year, because I was always struggling with that topic. If you enter a relationship, ask yourself, is this partner on the same level like me or even more ahead? Does this thing here really could work in the future? Do we have the same goals? Do we have the same visions for the future that we want to create? And if the answer is no, why then you enter this relationship? You make yourself so much harder and so much more complicated by doing so. So I just, can give you that tip. For me personally, I'm not gonna do that ever again, to enter a relationship where I believe more in a future vision than in reality what is right now. Especially women, but also many men that I know fall in love with potential. They see, oh my God, what could this be in the future? How amazing we could co-create. How amazing we could create life together. What we could do in the future, whatever. And then people fall in love with a vision of something that's not there yet. And that's great. Let's have a vision. 100% yes, let's go. A shared vision, even better, even more beautiful. But if you already know in the beginning that your values and your visions are not equal or not in the same direction, don't fucking do it, please. It's gonna cause so much friction, so much tension. Oh my God. So that's the things that I experienced in my relationships. And also when it comes to business, a lot of people are very focused on the next goal and chasing their next revenue highs. And in the field of entrepreneurs and creators, I see this a lot. But also this can cause a lot of problems in your relationships. So they both have an impact directly on each other. And how do you want to thrive in a relationship if you're struggling in business? How do you want to thrive in business if you're struggling with the relationship? And I'm gonna tell you one little thing that helped me to get out of both struggles as much as I can, because it's always two people involved, let's say. But when I look at what I can do, first of all, it's necessary that you thrive in your own health, in your mental well-being and in your physical well-being. Because if you thrive and be happy and healthy in yourself, you can pour from a full cup and not from an empty one. How do you want to give something to another person if you're in survival mode? How do you want to, think about shared goals and visions? How do you want to think about how to navigate conflict better or communicate better if you're constantly in overthrive and in panic and survival mode in your nervous system because you're constantly under struggle? And therefore you need to learn a lot of tools about communication, about dealing with your emotions. And I know we've never at the 100% level, we all struggle with stuff like that, and it's never easy, but it's worth taking the time to focus on it and to work things through together and also alone. And like I already said, trying to stay healthy with yourself, finding a balance, finding a good routine, meditate, yoga, breathwork, whatever is good for you, dancing, can help to bring you back into your best energy, and then you can pour from a full cup to another person and not to an empty one. And sometimes when we go through struggles, for example, in the relationship or in the business, doesn't matter, we tend to withdraw from other people, we tend to try to solve everything on our own, and it's better to communicate all this stuff with another person that we actually care about and that we can outline what we could do together and make it better. So that is what I want to share with you today. I don't know if you guys have any questions about it and want to share some of your own stories maybe. How do you guys navigate love versus ambition, career, business, and all these things? How do you struggle with that? And sometimes I really feel like they are killing each other, and I want to find better ways for myself and my clients to prevent that and to avoid these two parts of our lives, which are the most important ones besides health. So we can find a better way here. And it's an emotional topic for sure. Probably for you guys as well if you reflect on it. And Just looking in the chat that I don't miss out on something. Yeah, so I'm gonna share you my vision for my future as well if you want. My vision always has been to co-create with somebody and to have another creator or entrepreneur as my partner and co-create for retreats or coachings and whatever. And I had several connections and relationships where this worked brilliantly, and I had some where it didn't work out. And also through this I learned a lot, and it's possible to combine relationship and business and all these two fields. But you really need somebody who wants to co-create with you, who really is like committed and says, wow, we are like 100% on our own, and this 100% and this 100% create together 200%. 1 + 1 creates 3, let's say. That's how I would like to live, and that's also what I could experience already in my life several times. And then it makes so much more fun, it makes so much more brings so much joy. And also if you can combine the strengths of you and your partner to like bring together all this goodness that you both have and find a sweet spot and create out of this like full overflowing cup. Oh my god, that's the best thing ever. And that's what I always wanted to do, and always what I was like looking for, and I still do. Because some other things didn't work out in my life. I had different other reasons. Maybe the other person don't want to commit to something real, or isn't ready for a real relationship, or I don't know, like it didn't work out because of the the distance, let's say, relationship on distance, or the other partner was not that driven or not that focused on a relationship, or not focused on business. So different reason why it's in the end doesn't work out, let's say. But I still hold on to this vision, and I know exactly that's the person I want to manifest into my life. And the people that I met in the last half year, or let's say year, got more and more nearer to that person I want to manifest for my future, which is somebody who is really committed to a shared power couple vision, let's say. And I can't wait for this to happen. I'm really excited for that and looking forward to it. And in the meantime, I'm just focusing on my own projects, my own health, my own retreats, and my own projects that I'm doing, and thriving with what I love doing the most. And that's fucking exciting. What I also did like last month was like thinking about the person I want to manifest into my life. Maybe that helps you guys as well. I wrote down who this person should be, like what kind of personal traits this person should bring, what is really necessary for me to have in a relationship, what is a nice plus to have on top. And so I was thinking about it. Okay, how do I want to have my next relationship? How should that person be that I want to commit to and build my power couple dream life, let's say? And I was realizing I would like to have somebody who is like very similar to me, having shared interests, things that we both love doing, and co-creating and just bringing the world more joy, more freedom, more success, whatever we want to create. And focusing also to get on health and stuff like that. So for me, I gonna openly share now my perfect dream boy manifestation. So I want to have somebody who is entrepreneurial or creator, who is like his own boss and living his own life on his own terms, because I really need a rebel too at my side. I think nobody at my side could survive without being a rebel, because I'm such a rebel, and I think it's gonna be a huge value conflict. And for me also important is that somebody has their own hobbies, taking care of their health, focusing on healthy food, a good diet, regular sports, yoga, wellness stuff, whatever. That's a thing I love to share with my partner. But it's also, does this person has a vision for a family in the future? Does this person wanna like bond, you know, like really commit to each other and like be connected. And that's a huge important factor for me. And of course, like monogamy and stuff like that. I had one open relationship. I'm not gonna repeat that ever in my life again. That caused me a lot of pain in my life. So yeah, they're all things that I found out which are, what is working for me and what is not working for me. What are my limits? What are my boundaries? What do I need from a man? What do I don't need or want anymore? And I think the clearer you get on this, the better it will be for your business and for your love life. Because again, I'm just repeating myself here, if you have a partner that is not really fitting to you and the future that you want to create and the person you want to become, and it's just holding you back in shrinking mode and like keeping you small, how the hell do you want to create and manifest that amazing future for yourself? It's impossible. And I know sometimes separation or breakups can be tough as fuck. Trust me, guys, I've been through some and I suffered so much because I love so deeply and I love so much. And when I do, it's so fucking hard for me to get out of there. Now finally, with 32, I have my tools to draw myself out of the shit. But it's fucking painful. It's painful as fuck. And yeah, it's never easy to do that. But it's worth it if you know what you want in life and what you want to create and what is your future goal. And I'm not settling for less than that. I'm not settling for that vision that I have just because I might not be wanting to be alone. Fuck that. I mean, we all don't want to be alone. Who wants to be alone for the rest of their life? Nobody. Who not rather want to share life with somebody who's like exactly like you and enjoying life and you can just like thrive and have a good life together. Every one of us wants to share their experiences and their goals and their, I don't know, maybe also challenges to like taking care of each other. And everyone wants that. Everyone wants to find real love. Everyone wants to have a real good relationship. Some of us are just afraid to do it and don't want to commit or be not ready, or the other ones are just still struggling with a lot of other things going on, and that's fine too. Just acknowledge where you are in your path right now and don't close the door for real love. And maybe when it then comes, open the door. So often in my life, people told me, are you sure you want to do this? Travel there or meet this person or start something with him or whatever. So often people told me, why do you do this? And I always knew there is so much growth in it. There's so much potential for development for myself, and that was the reason I did it. So yeah, guys, it's been a wild journey, I can tell you. And yeah, if I look back on my own journey, I can just laugh and smile and yeah, reflect on a really wild journey. It brought me into so many countries and it brought me to so many amazing experiences, and I would never ever want to give away or regret any of these. And yeah, let's see where this all gonna end up for me. I mean, people would tell me, oh my god, you're 32, you're not married and you not have kids. So what? I have 1,000 of experiences made. I've been in 1,000 of countries, met amazing people, enjoyed myself, danced salsa everywhere, did yoga, cared for my health. I'm looking the best I've ever looked in 32 years. I'm feeling the most healthiest, I'm feeling the most successful, I'm feeling the most centered in myself, knowing who I really am than ever before, and I would not like to change that for anything. And yeah, it's sometimes a process. And I don't know what is better, to be honest, guys. I don't know what is better. I think there is no better. If you are married to a guy or to a girl when you're 18 after school, and then you commit to this relationship for 20 years, build up a house together, I don't know, have a dog, have a normal job in your little hometown, and go from 9 to 5 to your shit job that you actually hate. Is that so much better than the life that I've built myself? 100% no. I don't believe that, so that's why I choose this path. Maybe the other person that I just described is completely happy with that lifestyle. And that's absolutely fine. Nobody has to become a digital nomad, an entrepreneur, and traveling the fucking world. Nobody has to do that if it's not in your life plan, if it's not in your dreams. But if it's your dream to build up something beautiful, a family, or I don't know, an online business, or beautiful projects, or I don't know, starting a new career. If this is your dream, why the hell you don't do it? Life is too short for maybes. Life is too short for this could be my life and whatever, but in the end it didn't. So yeah, I know that society tells us we need to like fill all these check boxes: married, kids, house, a dog, and a good job, of course, probably a BMW in Munich. Yeah, of course you can do that. And if that feels aligned to you and if that makes you happy, fuck, go for it. There's nothing wrong about it. It would not be my way though, but it's absolutely fine if you're happy with that. But the most of the people, the majority, they're not happy with the life they've chosen. And that is what I'm thinking. Why the hell you do this? There's so many other ways out there, so many other possibilities, and yeah. You don't have to shrink for a life you don't fit in. You don't have to make yourself smaller and smaller and smaller just for a relationship that you think you have to, I don't know, secure and safe because you don't want to end up alone. I'd rather be alone for a certain time until I find the right match to match my dreams than sacrifice my dreams just to not be alone. I think that's very, yeah, it's very sad. In my perspective, but yeah, everybody like they should want to do it. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for your support in the chat. Thank you, that's so kind. Yeah, maybe if you want to share something in the chat below about your experience with relationships and business or your career, I'm down to hear about it. I also feel like a lot of people don't reach their career goals, also not in corporate jobs, because they're really energetically burned out as fuck. And they're not just burned out because they're working so much. That's the thing. We all work the same amount of hours, probably. Like 40 hours per week, most of the people work. Some are burned out and some are not. And the ones that are burned out are not just burned out because they work so much more than others or they have so much stress in their job itself. No, they're also burned out because their emotional construct is so fucking overwhelmed and they're constantly in survival mode because of different other things in their lives. For example, their relationships, or because they're not caring for their health and their mental health. They're not knowing how to regulate their emotions. So that's a huge problem, people. And if they're constantly in survival mode in their private life, how exactly should they thrive in business or in their career? It's impossible. You just can't. You just like run on an empty battery constantly. And that's why people burn out. And also, why people also burn out is, and that's something I really realized, it's not just burnout, it's also bored out. A lot of people feel burned out, but they're actually not burned out, they're bored out because they do stuff they hate doing and they just do it because of the money and they don't like it at all. And they just keep on going with the job, for example, they hate just because they have a family to take care of, they have children, they have to whatever, create money for them, of course, and I totally get that. Sometimes we have to sacrifice ourselves for others, and that's fine for a certain period of time, but not forever. And yeah, a lot of people burn out because they don't do things they actually love doing, they do things that they actually hate doing. And knowing that they work all day, every day against their own truth and against their own values is what they actually burns them out. And then suddenly they go to the doctor and say, hey, I'm burned out, can you please prescribe me something? And then they take a lot of pills for this shit and they just function further and keep on going in the hamster wheel. Is that really how life should be? I don't know. I really don't know. People from my family, they own an apartment. And there's a guy living in that apartment and he's not paying his rent. And he's not even telling his wife about it. So since 6 months, this guy is not paying rent, where other people suffer because they don't have the money, and the wife doesn't even know about it. And he's begging, please don't tell it to my wife, please don't tell it to my wife. She gonna divorce from me because I don't have a job anymore and I cannot secure for our life and I cannot be the provider. And as sad as this story is, it's just like one of the little stories that I hear all day, every day from friends and colleagues, and it's such a good example how relationships and money topics are connected, how career and business are connected, and so on. And we have to find a way on how to balance this. And how I always recommend my clients to balance this is, first of all, make a complete reset for yourself and really think about, what do you actually want? What do you want? You, not your family, not your partner, not your children. What does you want? What do you want? Sorry for my English today. What do you want in your life really? And get clarity on that. And as soon as you have an answer for that, because sometimes it's also not easy to find that answer alone, so that's why I always recommend working with mentors. But as soon as you have an answer to that question, you have to follow through an action step plan. Because if you just know what you want, that's great that you know what you want. But if you don't follow through on your own truth, what you're telling yourself constantly is like, I actually want this, but I don't do it, I don't follow through, so I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving this, so it's just not happening, and I don't know what to do, and then you're overwhelmed, and then it creates more anxiety and stress in you, because you know you're constantly doing stuff that you don't want, just to like save or secure something that's actually not even for you. And yeah, it's a huge topic. I'm helping my clients in my mentoring through that as well. We're gonna talk about different topics, relationships, business, how they can be combined better. And what's the most important of all of this is truly connecting with your own needs first. Because if you don't know what you want and if you don't know what you need, how do you want to navigate it? How do you want to communicate it to your partner? How do you want to communicate it to your boss? How do you want to communicate it to your clients? It's very tough. So first of all, find clarity on what you really want. What are your needs? What is your vision of a brighter future, let's say? Who do you want to become? And when you know these answers, great, that's already half the work. Then go there and say, okay, what can I do to exactly make the first steps? What can I do to like reach that future goal, this dream? What exactly can I do today? Which resources do I have right now in this moment? Who can I ask? Where can I go to? Who can I talk to help me with that? That's already an amazing first step. And then make the right action steps towards that dream and that goal. And sometimes that means separating from people. Sometimes that means having no contact with the person that you actually love. And sometimes that means focusing on your own needs first and filling your own fucking cup. Because if your cup is empty constantly, trust me, it will destroy your relationships and your mental health even more. And that's on a constant base. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. A lot of things that I needed to learn in the past. And yeah, hope it helps some of you. If you have any questions about it, or you want to just share the story of your life with me, like your situation that you're currently in, you can always book a free discovery call with me where you can tell me a little bit more about your personal situation. And then we're going to look how we can find more clarity for you. Find out what you really want and then go from there. Create an action step plan on how to achieve that for yourself. It doesn't matter if it's in business or in your personal life. And then we get it done together. I'm going to lead you through all the steps that needs to be done to, create what you want to create for yourself. And I'm very happy to do that with you together. Yes, that was it. I have nothing more to add. If you have no other questions, fine. I'm gonna finish this live here today. I'm gonna upload it also as my podcast, and I would love to hear your personal stories in Instagram, in a DM. Just text me or book a free consultancy call with me, free discovery call, where we get to know each other and where I can give you more perspective, because we all have so many different possibilities and options in our life. We just need to know about them. And then when we know that we actually have so many different options and possibilities, we can look what is the best for us right now in this moment. And then go the next steps together. Yes. Besitos, mis amores. Ganz liebe Grüße. Muchos, besitos, greetings, love from Toronto. And hope you guys, hope to see you soon.